My beloved brothers and sisters, today my heart is heavy. I speak to you not from a place of theory, but from a place of pain, from a place of reflection, and from a place of reflection, and from a place of love for this ummah of Muhammad. As I sit here reflecting upon the state of our people across the globe, I cannot help but say with full honesty, the ummah is bleeding. We are hurting. We are wounded. And yet, amidst all this pain, there is still hope, there is still light, there is still a way forward if only we turn back to Allah Almighty with sincerity, humility, and perseverance. When we look around us, the signs are clear, families are broken, communities are divided, nations are at war, and innocent lives are being lost. My brothers and sisters, every drop of blood that falls from an innocent person is not just a tragedy for their family, but it is a tragedy for the entire ummah. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ described us as one body. When one part is in pain, the entire body feels the pain. And today this body of ours is aching, it is restless, it is searching for healing. But where will that healing come from? It will come only when we recognize that Allah is in control, that Allah is the one we need to turn to, that Allah is the one whose guidance we must hold on to firmly without letting go. Think about it, my brothers and sisters. How often do we cry for the ummah? How often do we truly feel the pain of our brothers and sisters in other lands? It is so easy for us to scroll past an image on our screens, to look at a headline, to sigh for a moment, and then to move on with our lives as though nothing happened. But that is not the way of a believer. A true believer allows the pain of others to touch their hearts. A true believer feels the burden of the ummah as if it is their own burden. This is what makes us strong. This is what makes us united. And this is what gives us the ability to rise again when we fall. The bleeding of the ummah is not only physical, it is not only about wars, oppression and bloodshed, it is also about our spiritual wounds, our moral decline, our distance from Allah, our neglect of salah, our obsession with this temporary world, and our disconnection from the Qur'an. We bleed when we abandon our values. We bleed when we let go of our identity. We bleed when we allow materialism, greed and selfishness to dominate our hearts. And my beloved brothers and sisters, we must not underestimate these wounds. They may not be visible in the form of blood and injury, but they are far more dangerous because they eat away at the very soul of our community. Every day we wake up, Allah grants us another chance, another opportunity to make things right, to reconnect with Him, to bring about change, to reach out to someone in need, to uplift someone who has fallen, to inspire someone who is weak. And yet we often waste these opportunities. We complain about the world, we complain about leaders, we complain about systems, but we forget that the true change begins with us. If each one of us takes responsibility for our own hearts, our own families, our own salah, our own Quran, our own honesty and character, imagine how powerful the ummah would become. Imagine the healing that would spread. Imagine how the bleeding would begin to stop. My beloved brothers and sisters, do not ever think your contribution is too small. Do not ever think your dua is insignificant. Sometimes it is the hidden, quiet prayer of a sincere heart that shakes the heavens, that brings down the mercy of Allah upon an entire people. Sometimes it is a single good deed, unnoticed by the world, that becomes the reason Allah protects an entire community. We must never underestimate the power of our connection with Allah, for indeed He is closer to us than our jugular vein. He knows our struggles, He knows our pain, He knows our tears, even those that no one else sees. And when you cry for the ummah in your sujood, when you ask Allah to heal the wounds of the believers, Know that Allah is listening and Allah is responding in ways you cannot yet imagine. The bleeding of the Ummah is a wake-up call. It is a reminder that we cannot be complacent. We cannot sit back and watch as our faith is diluted, our families are destroyed, our values are forgotten. We must rise with dignity, with wisdom, with knowledge, with patience and with mercy. We must become ambassadors of Islam in our character, in our dealings, in our workplaces, in our neighborhoods. When people see us, they should be reminded of honesty, humility, kindness and sincerity. That is how we rebuild trust. That is how we heal wounds. That is how we become a source of light in a world full of darkness. I know it is not easy. I know many of you listening are going through struggles of your own. Some of you may be struggling financially, others may be battling illness, some may be feeling lonely, and some may be facing family issues that no one else understands. And yet in the middle of your personal battles, I remind you that you are not alone. Allah is with you. And through your struggle, you can still make dua for the Ummah. You can still give a smile to someone. You can still reach out to a neighbor. You can still make a difference in the life of one person. And perhaps, just perhaps, that one act of sincerity becomes the reason Allah lifts the burden of the entire Ummah. So let us not despair. Yes, the Ummah is bleeding. Yes, we are in pain, but we are not defeated. As long as there is a single believer turning to Allah, raising their hands in supplication, refusing to give up, the Ummah is alive. The flame of faith is still burning, and with that flame, even if small, darkness can never fully win. Our duty is to nurture that flame, to protect it, to spread it, to pass it on to the next generation, stronger than it was when it reached us. My beloved brothers and sisters, when I say the Ummah is bleeding, I do not say this to fill your hearts with despair. I say this to wake us up, to remind us that we are one family, one body, one people. If you look back at history, the Ummah has faced countless trials, countless struggles, countless wounds, yet every single time, those who held firmly to Allah, those who refused to let go of their connection with Him, were the ones who saw light after darkness, who saw ease after hardship, who saw victory after pain. And today our test is no different. We are being tested in our patience, we are being tested in our unity, we are being tested in our sincerity, and we are being tested in our priorities. Sometimes the bleeding of the Ummah is also a reflection of our own inner bleeding. How many of us are at war with our own hearts? How many of us have lost peace within our own homes? How many of us carry grudges, jealousy, anger and hatred towards our own brothers and sisters? How many of us refuse to forgive? How many of us allow pride to dictate our decisions? My beloved brothers and sisters, if we cannot heal the wounds within ourselves, how can we expect the Ummah to heal? If we cannot show mercy to those in our homes, how can we expect mercy to descend upon our nations? Healing begins within. It begins with you and me. It begins with a single heart that turns sincerely back to Allah, that repents, that cries, that says, "Oh Allah, forgive me. Oh Allah, guide me. Oh Allah, heal me so that I may be a means of healing for others." And wallahi, when we do this, Allah opens doors that we never imagined. Sometimes we think the problems of the Ummah are too big for us. We say, "What can I do? I am just one person. I am weak. I am busy with my life." But remember, Allah does not look at the size of your action. Allah looks at the sincerity in your heart. A single tear shed in the depths of the night can change your destiny. A single coin given in charity with pure intention can be worth mountains. A single prayer offered with a broken heart can shake the heavens. So do not belittle what you can do. Start small, but start sincerely. Heal yourself, and through you Allah will heal others. The bleeding of the Ummah also calls us to return to the Qur'an. My brothers and sisters, this book is not just a recitation, it is not just something we place on a shelf. It is not only for Ramadan, it is a guide, it is a healing. Allah Himself says in the Quran that it is a cure and a mercy for the believers. If you want to stop the bleeding, connect yourself to the Quran, read it daily, even if just a few verses, reflect upon it, live by it, teach it to your children, let your homes echo with its recitation, for when the Quran fills our lives, it fills us with clarity, with strength, with guidance, with peace, and that peace is what our bleeding hearts so desperately need. But Quran alone is not enough if we neglect Salah. Salah is our lifeline. Salah is our lifeline. Salah is our daily medicine. Salah is the rope that ties us to Allah 5 times a day. How many of us delay it? How many of us rush it? How many of us abandon it? Then we ask, why are we not at peace? My beloved brothers and sisters, if we neglect our Salah, we cut the rope that connects us to Allah, and when that rope is cut, how can we expect healing? How can we expect strength? How can we expect unity? Revive your Salah, guard it, beautify it, make it the center of your day, not an afterthought. Teach it to your children, not as a burden, but as a gift. For through Salah, Allah grants us stability in the middle of chaos. Through Salah, Allah grants us patience in the middle of hardship. Through Salah, Allah grants us hope when all seems lost. And then, my beloved brothers and sisters, let us speak about unity. The bleeding of the Ummah is worsened when we fight each other, when we argue about petty issues, when we divide ourselves based on tribe, based on race, based on sect, based on wealth, based on status. Allah has told us in the Quran to hold firmly together to the rope of Allah and not be divided. But what do we see today? Division after division, argument after argument, hatred upon hatred, and the enemies of Islam smile because they know we have weakened ourselves. My beloved brothers and sisters, let us put aside our arrogance, let us put aside our pride, let us put aside our differences, and let us unite upon what matters most. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. For if we are united, no force on earth can defeat us. But if we are divided, even the weakest of enemies can overpower us. The bleeding of the Ummah also reminds us of our responsibility to the next generation. Our children are growing up in a world that is confused, a world that is pulling them in every direction, a world that distracts them from Allah, from their deen, from their values. If we do not instill in them love for Allah, love for the Quran, love for Salah, love for the Sunnah, then who will? If we do not spend time with them, guide them, protect them, then who will? If we do not become role models for them, then what will they look up to? My beloved brothers and sisters, do not let your children bleed spiritually while you are alive. Protect them, guide them, nurture them, and remember, your home is the first madrasa, your character is the first lesson, your actions are the first teaching. Now I know, my brothers and sisters, this may feel heavy, the message may feel overwhelming, but let me end with hope, because our religion is a religion of hope. Yes, the Ummah is bleeding, yes, the wounds are many, but healing is possible. Allah never abandons His servants, Allah never abandons His Ummah, Allah never abandons those who turn back to Him. The doors of mercy are wide open, the doors of forgiveness are wide open, the doors of forgiveness are wide open, the doors of healing are wide open. All that is required is for us to walk through those doors with humility and sincerity. So let us make a promise today, a promise not just with our tongues, but with our hearts, a promise that we will each do our part, no matter how small, a promise that we will revive our Salah, a promise that we will reconnect with the Quran, a promise that we will heal our families, a promise that we will forgive one another, a promise that we will cry for the Ummah in our du'as, a promise that we will never give up, no matter how dark the night may seem, because we know that the mercy of Allah is greater than all the pain of this world. We know that the light of Allah is stronger than all the darkness of this world, and we know that the promise of Allah is true. After hardship comes ease, after hardship comes ease. My beloved brothers and sisters,
The bleeding of the Ummah is real, but so is the healing of Allah. The pain of the Ummah is real, but so is the mercy of Allah. The wounds of the Ummah are deep, but so is the forgiveness of Allah. Do not despair, do not give up, do not despair, do not give up, do not lose hope. Hold firmly to Allah, turn back to Him with sincerity, and you will see in your own life, in your own family, in your own community, and one day across the globe, that the Ummah will heal by the will of Allah, the most merciful, the most loving, 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 the most powerful. And as I end this reminder, I raise my hands and say, O Allah, heal the wounds of this Ummah. O Allah, have mercy on the oppressed. O Allah, forgive our shortcomings. O Allah, unite our hearts. O Allah, strengthen our faith. O Allah, protect our children. O Allah, grant us peace in this world and everlasting joy in the hereafter. Ameen.